Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. We are going to be here doing another Which is Better. And you may be confused as to what tank I will be putting up against the Tankenstein, since I am showing the Tankenstein here. And the answer to that is very simple. There isn't one. What I'm going to be doing here is it's not going to be a Which is Better tank versus tank this time. No, this is going to be a Which is Better Tankenstein 130 or Tankenstein 105. So I've seen a couple of comments saying that the 105 is the better gun for the Tankenstein, and most of them cite the fact that you get the gun mantlet with the 105. And that is true, you do get the better gun mantlet of the 105, which makes your turret front nigh impenetrable. It gets like 275mm of frontal armour or something, which is pretty crazy. That is indeed correct. However, if someone was to ask me, obviously, which gun do I run with the Tankenstein, / which one would I run with the Tankenstein, the answer is pretty simple if you look at all of my Tankenstein videos. It's the 130. There's two very simple reasons why the 130 is the better gun in comparison to the 105mm. One of them is the alpha damage, and the other one is the premium ammunition. They're the two big reasons to play the 130 rather than the 105. And I'll explain you to them, and I'll explain them to you now. Statistically, yes, the 105 is the better gun. It has better accuracy, better aim time, better DPM, a better reload, and it does have better premium ammunition in terms of pen. And it also gets an extra 2 degrees of gun depression, and it gets that frontal gun mantlet. And yes, that is all true. You do all get that with the 105. And if you wanted to play a competitive Tankenstein, you would go with the 105mm gun. But at the end of the day, video games are fun. They are for you to have fun in. And which of these guns do you have more fun with? It's definitely the 130. And that's to do with the alpha damage and the premium ammunition, specifically the premium ammunition which is only applicable to the 130s in the Russian line, aka the Tankenstein and the box tank, the Su-100Y. I think those are the only two Russian tanks that get 130s with this type of ammunition. And first of all, let me just say, if you run it with the 105, that's perfectly fine, and I understand. It is the picture that Wargaming puts with the Tankenstein every single time, because the idea of it is it's a hybrid of 3 different nations. You've got Germany for the hull, you've got Russia for the turret, and America for the gun. That's the premise of what they were going with. But they gave us the 130, and I'm not complaining as to why on earth they gave us the 130. But if you're going to run it with the 105, you've got something which is a little known tank that not a lot of people know is in the American tech tree. It's called a T-29, and in that you get a 105mm gun, which is the same gun. It's actually a better gun because it gets better depression values, gun depression. It doesn't have as good accuracy or aim time, but it does have a slightly worse reload time. But then I don't know whether this is including a 100% crew or not. But otherwise, it is pretty much the same sort of gun. And with it, you're getting 10 degrees of gun depression for a start. You're getting the good turret armor. You're not getting as good frontal hull. However, it is still pretty tricky to get through. I will admit, it is pretty tricky to get through the frontal hull armor of the T-29s. And you're getting probably a more mobile tank compared to the Tankenstein. So, honestly, I would say if you've got to run something with a 105mm gun, which has got an American gun mantlet, just go for the American heavy tank. Because the Russian, this thing, it's in the German tech tree, it's the Tankenstein. This was the first ever special tank I think they introduced to the game. Or one of the first. It was certainly the first Halloween tank. And because they hadn't yet had the hybrid nation, which is the nation that the Gravedigger is in, or the M4FL10, for example, or, you know, the Gravedigger, the Predator, the Blaze, the Lycan, or the Helsing. All of these tanks are all classified as hybrid nation, but because the Tankenstein was in before hybrid nations were even a thing, they just shoved it in the German heavy tank line. Or they shoved it in the German line as a heavy tank because it's got the Tiger P hull. And yeah, because this is such a weird tank, it's in the German line with a Russian turret and an American /Russian gun. Yeah, if you're going to run it with the American gun, then just run the T-29. As we saw, the T-29 there got an 11 horsepower per ton ratio. It's more mobile than the Tankenstein. It's a more mobile heavy tank with comparative armour and the same gun as the Tankenstein with the 105. The 105 on the Tankenstein does have better gun dispersion and a slightly better reload time, but otherwise it's got exactly the same stats in terms of average pen and everything, and it's got worse gun depression. The American tank gets 10, this gets 8. So, you know, let's just have a look at the 105mm here. So it's got a 4.6 second aim time, which is it's still fairly long. It's got decent gun dispersion, 0.34. It's got a 1,773 DPM, which is, it's alright, with a 10.5 second reload time. What else in this tier has got a 10.5 second reload time? What's the IS-2 Prav that got again? This has got a 13 second reload time with 400 average damage, but lower pen. What else? I don't think I've got anything that's got... The only other thing I can compare it to is the American tank again. Actually, no, this thing. This thing has got a 100mm gun, no, 105mm, and this has got 10.52 second reload. So yeah, it's got a comparative reload, and it's got comparative, DPM in terms of, BPM. It's pretty self-explanatory. Don't know why I had to do that. It's got a worse aim time, and it's got slightly worse dispersion, but the same average pen. Again, 10 degrees of gun depression. 198 average pen with AP, 245 with APCR, 53 with HE, 310 average pen with AP, 360 APCR, 400 HE, 15 degrees gun elevation, 8 degrees gun depression. And it actually has slightly worse firing concealment upon firing when stationary for some reason. So you'll be more likely to be spotted at distance firing this thing than you will the 130. Don't know how that works. Probably because of the gun muzzle or the muzzle brake. But yeah, that's the stats of the 105. And yes, those are decent stats. You do have nearly 200 average pen. The only other things at this tier that have got about 200 average pen is the Tiger P, or the VK 4503? 4502? The Tiger 2 looking one, like prototype Tiger 2 one. They're the only things that really got notable higher average pen, or indeed the T-29. The Russian guns have all got 175. British guns, they're fairly decent actually. So overall, this has got decent pen for the tier. You've got obviously better APCR, but for lower damage. That's pretty standard. Premium ammo now they've done it. You've got decent enough dispersion. You've got average/low long aim time. Decent enough DPM, decent enough reload time for the size of the gun. However, it's just not that fun to play it with the 105. You feel like you're missing out when you have the option of firing the mean machine from this tank in comparison to the 105. Like I keep saying, if you want to play a tank which has got a 105mm gun, go for the T-29 with that gun mantlet, or go with the Mutant, the M6A2E1, which has also got a 105mm gun, but it's also got decent hull armour and turret armour, and it's also got better gun depression than this thing does with the 105. And yeah, they're comparable tanks, except more mobile, because the Tankenstein used to be even less mobile than it is now. I have some really old videos of this thing, back before they buffed it massively. It was a chore to drive around the battlefield, and the only reason I kept playing it was because of the 130mm gun. You soon realise that the 130mm is the more fun gun. You have more fun playing it with the 130 than you do the 105. And back when this thing was even less mobile than it is, it had something like I don't know, 14 degrees like hull traverse or something, and the turret traverse was like 20. The power to weight was something like 8 horsepower per ton, and the top speed was like 18. It was an absolutely terrible tank to drive. It was an absolutely terrible tank in general, and everyone's consensus was that it was a terrible tank. But we all loved it no matter what, because it has got the 130, and here's where I get onto the 130, which is really the only saving grace of this tank, other than the hull armour, which is decent from the front. Other than that, the 130 is the only saving grace of this thing. Yes, it does have a 5.5 second aim time. Yes, it has got 0.37 dispersion and 1600 DPM. It does have a 17 second reload time. However, it does have 196 average pen with AP, 171 pen with premium AP, 65 with HE, 460 average damage with AP, and here's the killer, 530 average pen with premium AP, and 600 with HE. 6 degrees of gun depression, 15 degrees of gun elevation. Overall, terrible gun. But it's the best gun in the game. In comparison, you know, looking at that DPM, okay, 1600, you've got something like the VK4503, I was right with my designation there, which has got 2350. You've got something like the Mutant Experimental, which has got, what's the DPM? What was it? 1768. You've got something like the IS-2 Berlin, which has got 1794 DPM, and that's got a pretty slow reloading 122. The IS-2 Pravda has got a 1794. Again, the Lycan, for example, the newest Halloween tank, has got 17.94 because it's got, again, another 122. The Vindicator Ultramarine has got a 2778 average DPM, purely because of how much damage its heat is supposed to do. Even the WZ Blaze has got a 2000 DPM. It has got the worst DPM out of any tier 7 heavy tank. In comparison to even some tier 6s, the Thunderer here, which is a tier 6 tank, and the first one to come with Operation Onslaught, has got a 1282. It's got 400 less DPM than a tier 7 heavy tank. Let's even look at the TOG. I mean, who doesn't love the TOG? TOG's got 2100, and it's a TOG. And there's no surprise there. It has got absolutely terrible DPM. But the average damage of that premium AP is the whole reason you run this tank. Because regular AP, yes, it does 460, which is still a monstrous amount of damage to do. The only thing that will do the same amount of damage is a 128mm gun on the tier 8 VK, for example, or the Sturmil. The Sturmil is the only thing that will do the same average damage as this thing with AP. Switch it up to premium AP, however, you're doing 530 average damage a shot. If you're very lucky, you can do over 600 damage with a single shot of AP from this tank. In comparison, the ISU 122S has got 1000 HP. You do half the HP of an ISU 122 in a single shot. It is very satisfying to see half of someone's health gone. It's like you're just Thanos and you're just away someone's health. You're just clicking out, you're just snapping away half of their effective HP in a game. Yeah, if you get a below average damage roll, yes, you only do like 440, but that's still very good average damage for a tank at this tier. Like I say, the Sturmil is going to be the only thing which does the same average damage if you're using a regular AP. But everyone that plays this tank, I think I've only seen a couple of Tankensteins. They're pretty rare to see, but more of them have been coming along as people, you know, see the Tankenstein, see videos on it, and go, I want some of that. Everybody who runs the Tankenstein that I've seen runs the 130 for that reason and that reason alone, that it is immensely fun to do half of someone's HP with a single shot of HE, with premium AP, let alone doing 600 average damage with high explosive. A Rheinmetall Borsig has got what, 1200 HP? Let's have a look. 1100 HE. Blur. It has got 1100 HP for a tier 8 tank destroyer. You can do probably something around, I want to say, 750 if you get it as like the maximum high roll. That's a lot of HP. Not to mention, you can get through the sides of people's turrets and hulls with this sort of AP. With this sort of penetration with your HE. You can't quite get through the front of Stura Mills, but you can easily get through the sides of them, you know, 30 mil of side armour. But something else at this tier, yeah, the Panther. Panther has got 60 mils of side armour with this Schmal term. When you've got the regular turret, it goes down to 45. You can penetrate the side of a Panther turret, of a Schmal term Panther turret, with HE. You can penetrate the side and rear of a Panther with HE and do half of their health. Yes, you do have the long reload time to counterbalance that, but it doesn't matter, because you do that much damage a shot. And that's the whole reason you play the Tankenstein with the 130, is that it's just far more fun to play this tank. Just watch any of my videos of me driving the Tankenstein, and you'll see what fun it is to do 1000 damage in 2 shots at tier 7. You can wipe out someone in 2 shots, especially if they're tier 6. If it's a tier 6 tank, you can wipe out half of their HP with a single shot, and it is very good. Something like the Action 10, you know, the Carnarvon Action 10, which is pretty OP, I have to say. What with the DPM, but you know, they give you problems. The only problem with having this sort of damage and pen on your premium is that your regular ammo is the highest penetration you're going to get in this tank, which will be a turn off for some people, I can imagine. That's probably why some people run the 105, just for the better pen with the APCR. You do get the 245, which will allow you to make shots at the end of the game to win the game. However, the average damage of this thing just allows you to clear even not that low health tanks from the game, or at least lower them enough so that someone else's lower caliber shot or lower damage shot can then finish them off, where you wouldn't be able to do that if you were running the 105, because the 105 does have better DPM, but it's still a 10-second reload, and for just 7 extra seconds you could be doing double the damage in a single shot with this gun. And it's just far more fun to play this gun than playing the 105. And that's just bottom line of it. The reason people play this tank is not because it's a good tank. It's because it has got an amazingly fun gun. It's like playing anything with a derp gun. The ISU, for example, the ISU 152. There's a better gun available for it. However, people play it with the 152 because it derps people in the face. The perfect example, actually, KV2. Statistically, the 107 is the better gun for the KV2. It's got better accuracy, better aim time, better DPM, better reload, better average pen. Better gun elevation as well. You get 18 instead of 12. However, everyone runs the derp gun because it's more fun. It's not because it's the better gun, it's because it's the more fun gun to play. This is technically the better gun for the KV2. If you want to do well in the KV2, run the 107 Zis. You want to have fun in the KV2, run the 152, because you can dirt people with 960 alpha damage with a high explosive shell. That's why people play the KV2, not because the gun or the tank is good, but because it's fun. Because that's what people do. People want to play a tank because it's fun. Playing the 105 is just like playing any other tank with a 105mm gun. The Tankenstein loses its charm when you play it with the 105, because there's better tanks that have a 105 at this tier that just perform better than the Tankenstein does with the 105. You play the Tankenstein because it's more fun to dirt people for half of their health with a single shot. Again, look at any of my videos with the Tankenstein. It's far more fun, and you can hear from my commentary, I have far more fun playing the 130 and doing 550 average damage with this tank. I mean, you know, look at the stats of my tank here. Specifically, damage ratio 1.76 damage ratio. You know, I've dealt, you know, at least 50% more damage than I've taken from using it. The destruction ratio, you have got the alpha damage to kill off people who normally would not be able to be one-shot killed. That's a 2.68 destruction ratio. I have killed 225 tanks for only 84 deaths. My average damage caused to battle is 1600 with this gun. My average damage received is less than 1000. Averaging 1.15 enemies killed per battle, because it's just got that alpha damage to deal that massive damage that you need to finish off people who are on 400 HP. You know, that's often the case when battles are coming into their latter stages and people have been battered and beaten, and there's someone on 400 damage, on 400 HP. You can reliably kill them with this gun because it does 460 average damage. You can't do that in the 105 because it just doesn't have the alpha, and again, it's just not as fun to play. You can clutch games by killing, you know, people who have still got a third of their HP left, but you can kill them in a single shot with the 130 when you can't do it with the 105. But anyway, I've rambled on enough about that, so let's get on to the gameplay. Like before, I'll show you two games, one with the 130 and one with the 105, and then we'll make the conclusion. So I'm just going to start off straight away, show you what I mean with the 130, and I'll show you the 130 game, and show you what happens in the 130 game. So here we go. We're in the Tankenstein, we're in the 130, we're on Oasis Palms. It is a tier 7 game. Okay, we have got, what have they got? They got Tiger, Cromwell B, we have a KV-1S, an AMX-12T, an SU-100, you know, ARL they've got. And so of course I'm going to head to B because it's the typical tank, heavy tank area. So there's a P43, there's the Sperrpanzer, the AMX has been spotted, P43 has been spotted, all the medium tanks that have gone over there have been spotted. So of course I'm still going to head to B, thinking that I'll meet some heavy tanks, and then all of a sudden, up pops the Jagdpanzer, and there's the ARL. Now watch this on the Jagdpanzer. Okay, I've been spotted. I'm aiming. Yeah, thanks for that 560. Look at that! He's down to a third of his HP just from a single shot. I did take 220 damage, but look at this. I can pen the side of an ARL with high explosive, which I do. Watch this. Bang, 560, and we damage his turret. I've done 1000 damage with 2 shots, 1100 damage with 2 shots on that ARL, and I would do it again, and he would be dead. I have just dealt half of the health of that ARL. Watch this unfortunate shot. Look at that. Whizzes straight over his turret. But look at that. I did half of his health in a single shot. Now here comes that Tiger, and I do manage to get a nice shot into the Tiger. Watch this. Loaded the premium AP again, because, you know, premium AP, you can do more damage. Here we go. Look at this. Lower glacis. Yeah, don't mind if I do. 557. Look at that. 557. Now, backing it up, I do take a shot, 240, yeah. But still, that's 240 damage dealt to me for 560 dealt to him. There's, of course, still that Wi-Fi Firefly, there's that ARL over there, there's the Cromwell B. Now, the ARL, I am going to finish him off. Bang, there you go. Get him out of the game. I could have done that with the 105, you're quite correct. But here we go, Cromwell B does 177 to me. Again, I did do more damage than I took there by finishing off the ARL. That was about 200. I took 177 in return. Look at this Y5. Look at this. Loading premium. Bang. Look at that. 513 to allow our own ARL to finish him off just before he dies. I would not have been able to do that. That guy would still be alive and kicking if I'd been using the 105. Now is that Sperrpanzer? Sperrpanzer's on very low health. There's that P43, of course. I don't get a shot into him. I know there's still that... I'm looking to get a shot onto that Tiger, but I'm too slow to get the shot in there. Backing it up, too slow to get the shot into the P43. There's that Cromwell B again, being very annoying. Of course, still that Sperrpanzer. There he is, Cromwell. Hello there, friend. Looking for a shot into him, but we don't manage to get it. Take a shot from the Tiger, take a shot from the side. The SU is camping right at the back of the map, so he's being no use to anyone, and I am unfortunately going to die here. in this case, it's the fault of nothing, really. I just died. It's the fault of the SU not supporting me. Look at him at the back of the map. He's now deciding to charge down and trying to finish off the Cromwell, but he doesn't even manage to do that. So, we'll leave that there. Yeah, I died. Yes, we did lose the game. Yes, that was not the fault of the gun. Still, 2,300 damage dealt in how many shots? In 5 shots, we dealt 2,300 damage. That's pretty good average damage, if you ask me. 9,000 credits. We did lose the game, so I didn't get as many credits, and that obviously most of that was premium ammo. However, efficiency. ARL 2 shots in. One of them was executing him at low health, but still damaged the turret of him. We did 590 damage to the side of a turret of the ARL with high explosive. We nuked half of his health with high explosive. We would have finished him in 2 shots if my shot hadn't whizzed over the top of his tank. And yes, if I'd been using the 105, maybe it would have hit, yes, but I would have only done 600 damage out of the 2 shots in comparison to 590 in 1. So, still, 560 damage to the Jagdpanzer. We got 557 and damaged the transmission of that Tiger. The Y5, 513 damage, and we got the assist damage for letting someone else kill him because he was on such low health thanks to the high alpha of this tank. We did get the assist damage on the P43 for, I don't know, spotting, I think, or something. Still, yeah. Obviously, the ammo resupply is the problem. Firing this amount of AP of premium, however, you are a premium tank. You're not a collector's tank. Which is where they have the blue name instead of the gold name. This is actually a premium tank, so you do get the premium tank coefficient, so you're never really going to lose credits, and even if you do, it's still not that substantial. You can reliably make credits in the Tankenstein, even when you're firing only premium AP. Now, of course, we did get penetrated, but most of that was from the side or from the Tiger shooting us in the track, for example. It was from the sides and rears. Having the American turret wouldn't have helped in that situation. But now we'll move on to the 105mm gun of the Tankenstein. And look at that, we're even on another desert map, and it's another tier 7 game. So it's not even that we're being up-tiered with the 105, for example. We are still playing in a tier 7 game. So of course I am going to go over here to where C would be, and it feels weird. Look at it, it feels weird to be driving the Tankenstein with a 105mm gun sticking out the front. It's weird driving it. I didn't like it. Still, there's a Tiger over there. That is a stock Tiger, by the way. He has got the stock turret, as you can tell, because he's got 1400 HP. The Jagdpanzer drives out, immediately gets spotted by loads of people. Coming around here, and I would love to have derped a shot of ammo right into that Y5, or into that Firefly. We could have done double the damage with the with premium, but no. Instead we only do 300 and something, 314. We do bounce a shot there, put a shot into the lower glacis of that Thunder. He could be dead at this point, but instead we have to reload and put another shot into him. Bang, there you go. And he's left on 7 HP because of a low damage roll. We do tank that shot there from the Firefly. There's that stock Tiger. We do manage to bounce his shot. There's still that P43, gonna roll around, derp a shot right into him. Bounce a shot, yes, that did bounce off the turret. I do understand why people would drive this tank for the turret armour. But still, there we go, finish off the P43. He could be dead at this point. I do want to reiterate, if I'd been using the 130, fired a shot of premium AP right into him. Again, this Tiger, look at this. That would have made a lovely 500 and something damage shot. But no, instead we have to sit here, reload another 10 seconds. And we don't even get a second shot into him. Look at that. He repairs his track and gets away before we can get him. Still, Firefly do manage to get one shot on the move onto him. 360, that's a very nice high damage roll. And then we do roll around here, looking for a shot into the Tiger, looking for a shot into the Firefly, don't get it, instead we finish off the Tiger. The LTTP does damage our engine there, unfortunately, but here comes all of the rest of the team, finishes them off, and it's just the SU left on the team. And as we can see here, yes, we did survive a single shot, 2 shots actually there, I think. Yeah, I don't think that one went through. But yeah, we do actually have that penetration on the front of our gun mantlet there. But all of the rest of the pens were on the lower glacis. And then there you go. I do manage to snag the kill for the SU. I didn't want to burn a repair kit because that would have just been a waste. It was the end of the game. It was 100 damage. I wasn't going to burn a repair kit just for 100 damage. But still, 2,300 damage. That was a second class mastery. Top of the team there. So first on their team was the Firefly. 9 shots fired, 9 hits, 9 pens. Yes, we did fire slightly more shots this game, and we did hit them all because I was at a shorter range. Let's be honest here. I was blazing away across an open field at them. They were hardly far away. Still, yes, we did receive. We did bounce 3 hits. I'll give you that for the turret enthusiasts of the 105. But still, we did receive 4 penetrating hits because of the lower glacis. But still, it was just not as fun to play. Yes, it was a good game. And yes, we did do well at using the 105. But it was just not as fun of a game. I probably could have done more damage in that particular scenario game if I'd been using this gun rather than the 105. And that's the point of playing the 105. It's not the better gun, it's the more fun gun. Like I said, the KV2, people run the 152 not because it's the better gun on the KV2, but because it's the more fun gun on the KV2. One other example, for example, don't know where I was going with that sentence, is this, the 87. Yes, the 87 does have a better gun, being this thing, the 20-pounder Type A. But when you show people an auto-loading 6-pounder, and they're a decent player, for example, the World of Tanks Blitz YouTubers and community contributors, for example, Meadsy, Bushka, those sorts of people. You show them this tank, and you show them that auto-loading 6-pounder, and you ask them which gun are they going to run? They're going to run the auto-loading 6-pounder, not because it's the best gun, but because it's the most fun gun. Let me just have a look at the ISU 152 quick, because I think the ISU 152 does actually get a top 152. Yeah, there you go. So, that does have the alpha and the PEM in that case. But, bottom line is, you play this tank with the 130 because it's more fun. Not because it's better, but because it's more fun. So, in conclusion, run the 130. It's more fun, you do more damage, and it's just an all-round better time. So yeah, I'll thank you all for watching, and goodbye.